People on the forum will tell you that I am a very, very big fan of Jens Pulver, who is fighting Urijah Faber this weekend for the £145 title in WEC. It's not surprising because I have gone via the screen name of Pulveris on several forums and several different medias. I'm well known as being quite vocally in support of Jens, no matter what really, and no matter how difficult and how much of an underdog he is made out to be by press and fans pre a fight. I have to say that I am expecting a win by Jens Pulver this weekend. I personally think it will come by a knockout at some point. I don't think it'll be quick. I think it will be round 2 or 3. I think it will go on for a fair amount of time. I mainly think that because Urijah isn't frightened to strike, but his striking is a little bit messy, and for somebody who is particularly trained enough to be sort of instinctive about seeing a gap, I do feel that he will eventually get knocked out. I do hope that he doesn't get actually hurt too badly in the fight, because I do actually like Urijah Faber as well. I think that Jens is once again considered an underdog because he's facing a champion having just arrived in the institution himself. He's not well known at 155 because his days of dominance in that division in the Premier were several years ago. People don't really respect the fact that he is unbeaten at 145 pounds in 2 different sports. And so a lot of people are not going to be strongly supporting him in terms of that. Faber, on the other hand, has been quite a dominant champion and of good character in the £145 division of WEC so far. He hasn't really fought anybody of much calibre, and I think that's the difficult thing to remember. The major person he has fought was Tyson Griffin, who is becoming a major contender at £155 now, and Faber lost to him. Recently we did see him beat Jeff Curran, but you will remember that in the first round he very, very nearly lost to Jeff Curran, and I think that Jens Pulver is not going to waste or miss an opportunity if one presents itself. So I'm not too bothered about that. And I think a lot of people are thinking that. I think on the polls it's something like 60-40 so far to Faber, but that's not surprising. Jens is known for having built up the £155. He has fought people like BJ Penn, which is known for being probably the world's the best pure skill fighter there is. A rubbish character, but you cannot dispute his fighting ability. And Pulver has taken him the full length to decision and won at title level. So I don't think you can sort of say that he's not, he hasn't been capable. He's capable on his feet, and that's what he's known for, but that is a preference more than his academic background. His academic background is in wrestling. Yes, if he has a weakness, it is on the ground. But having said that, he has won several times by submission. His most recent submission, of course, was to qualify in getting the opportunity to contend for the title with his win over Cub Swanson. And of course, that ended Swanson's undefeated record, I seem to recall. The one thing that differentiates this fight is the fact that the people in it are both of good character, are both committed to their division and committed to bringing publicity to their weight class. Urijah Faber and James Pulver have both been very civil to each other. They have both shown that it is possible to create such a good fighting prospect that the arena that is hosting the event has had to put out more tickets for the event. They both have respect for each other. They are both and have both been very good champions, and will and would be should either of them continue. And I think that if James were to lose, then it couldn't have happened to somebody who was more deserving of that sort of honour, if that makes sense. I really do think that he is a very, very good a good champion at the moment, and I do think that he would be like Joe Lauzon was in victory should he win. I just don't think it will happen. I have to say that if the worst happens, I shall be absolutely gutted, and people on the forum will face hell for a very, very long time, until he gets a rematch, until he wins the title. But yes, I'm not a fair weather fan. I'm not the sort of person who will abandon their fighter if they lose. I would not change my mind on how I feel about James Pulver were he to lose every fight between now and the day he dies. That would not affect things. Having said that, I will always support him, and on this occasion, it's sad that two of the people that I do like are fighting each other, but that happens, and it's also unfortunate that it's happening in front of Urijah Faber's hometown, in front of a division that he's been head of for a long time, but that is the way it must be. And yes, I hope this time next week, to be celebrating the fact that James Pulver has the title, and hopefully before he then retires, I hope that he and Urijah and the rest of the group have made enough din to persuade the UFC that it is worth opening up the lower weight classes in their premier, because although they do own WEC, there's still a contention as to whether should be considered the premier or not. So there we are.